So we all know that building an online business isn't easy, and you're probably constantly asking yourself, what do I need to build a business? Maybe you think you need a website. Maybe you think you need an expensive platform. Maybe you think you need an assistant or whatever. Stick around because in this video, I'm actually going to share with you the top 3 things you need to start your online business yesterday. Hello my friends, what is up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, Jennifer Morilla. This YouTube channel is for coaches, content creators, and online service providers who are looking to grow using social media. If that is up your alley, then do me a favor and hit that little bell for notification. Don't forget to subscribe and welcome to the fam. If you're coming back, what is up? How's your day? How you doing? Are you well? I'm well. Okay, let's dive in, shall we? Because I get this question all the time for everyone that's looking to start a business online. They're like, Jen, I need to spend all this money and all these systems. I need to have all these places in order and yada, yada, yada. And guess what, girlfriend or boyfriend? It is not true. And I'm gonna spill the tea in this video on what you actually need when you're starting a business. Shall we? Let's get into it. Okay, so before we dive in, I wanna remind you to watch the very end because I have a surprise bonus that you are not gonna wanna miss. Now, today, we're gonna talk about the 3 things that you need to build a business, and it's actually more than 3 things, but it's 3 categories, and I'm gonna explain each category within. Cool? Cool beans. You wanna grab a pen and paper, and we're gonna talk about systems and operations. We're gonna talk about marketing and sales because it's how you make the moolah. And we're gonna talk about mindset because, well, if you don't believe in what you're selling, then how are you gonna sell it? You get me? Let's dive into the fun part. And the most easiest, I think, is operations and systems. So what you need to start a business. Organize your shit. Like, plain and simple. I don't know how else to say that. I wish somebody would have told me that when I first started my business, because a year in, when I had to go back, when I hired my first VA, and I had to tell her and teach her everything and give her where everything was, boy, was that a mess. So when you're organizing your systems, I use Google Drive because it really helps break down the folders and the files and all the things. It makes it really easy. You can use Dropbox, both. I mean, it depends on how much you need, but when you're just starting out, Google Drive is free. And it gives you a lot of space to just start out. So I think that it's perfect, okay? The next thing you want to consider is communication within operations and systems. Depending on the type of business you have, what is the way in which someone can book a call with you, can make a reservation, etc. So there are 2 platforms that I always recommend, and it is called Calendly and or Acuity. And both these platforms basically connects to your personal calendar and then allows any of your clients to potentially book calls with you. You can also get people to pay for their services on these products as well. So you don't have to have a fancy website right away when you're starting a business. Which leads me to the next thing. Do you need a website? Absolutely not. You don't need a website. However, it is nice and it is professional and it does look really cool. So my recommendation to you is that if you don't have the money to pay somebody to create a website, then you can do it yourself. And there's really a ton of easy platforms that are dummy proof, like literally dummy proof, where you can walk through creating your own website and it's really, really simple. So there's Wix and there's Squarespace. Those are the top ones. There's WordPress, but that's not easy. WordPress is quite difficult, trust me. I started out my website like that. I always recommend that if you don't have the time and you don't have the money to pay somebody to do it for you, then invest in Wix or Squarespace because it's a lot easier. And you can probably bang out a website in a few hours one day if you just like sit down and do the damn, right? Do you need a website to sell your products and services? No. That's what Acuity and Calendly is for. If you know what your products and services are, you can put that on there while you're waiting for your website to be prepared and all the things. I do recommend that you do have a website eventually because it does look really nice. It is professional. And if you've watched a series of my videos, then you know that the social media platforms are the vehicles to get somebody to your store being your website. When you're talking about operations and systems, you need to talk about organization within the system. I recommend a project management. Now, I know what you're thinking if you're just starting and you're watching this video, you're like, Jen, I have nobody on my team. Like, what do I need to operate? Start doing it now. Because the idea is that you're creating a business that potentially will lead you to hire first employees, contractors, whatever, and they are going to need to know a system. They're going to need to know an SOP, which is a standard operating procedure. And in order for them to do that, the best way to organize that stuff is to have it already set up. So there are 3 project management websites that I highly recommend. Say that really fast 10 times. Project management, project management, project management, project management. It like hurts my jaw. Okay. So I recommend in this order, easiest to hardest. And what I mean the easiest to hardest is they're all really easy, but based on how many employees you have, what you should invest in. By the way, they're all free. And everything that I've talked to you about so far is free. So you're not spending a dime. It's just your time. So we start off with Trello. This is the first project management website that I use to manage my team when I had no team. When I was the accountant, when I was the admin, when I was the customer service, when I was the content manager, when I was the bookkeeper, when I was everything. So Trello was the one that I used. It's really pretty. The next one is Asana. That's when my business started to grow. I had my first VA, we used Asana. And now we use ClickUp because I have a full functioning team and it's a lot of people, and ClickUp is just easier. You can pay, they do have options for you to pay for these brands, but you don't have to. You can just go with the basic free formula, free plan, and you will be okay. This leads us to emails, communication. You have Outlook and Gmail. I highly recommend Gmail because it just falls and integrates in all of these platforms very easily, okay? And Slack, communication within your team, even if you don't have a team, and or your clients. Slack is such a good platform, so I highly recommend that. Before I dive into number 2, we are gonna take a commercial break. This video is brought to you by my online business checklist. It is a free checklist you can get somewhere on this screen or possibly in the description below. You guys wanna snatch that. It has a list of every single service that you need to start your online business, and the majority of them are free. Obviously, you can use these paid plans later on if you choose to scale, but this list has been a game changer for so many people. We've had thousands of downloads, and it's free, so check it out. It's in the description below. Okay, let's go back. All right, so number 2, sales and marketing. Sales and marketing are extremely important. If you don't have this in your business, then you're not making any money. So you need to think about this. How do you sell yourself? How do you market yourself? These are the platforms that I highly recommend. Canva. I love Canva. If you don't know how to use Canva and you don't even know what Canva is, first of all, this is what it looks like. That's the logo. And second of all, I use it for everything. Like literally everything. This banner on my YouTube channel, Canva. My thumbnail, Canva. All my thumbnails actually, Canva. The majority of my posts on Instagram, Canva. It's absolutely amazing. It's a free platform. You can pay for it. I pay for it because I have a team that uses it now, so it's multiple people. But even if you don't have a team and you did want to pay for it, it's really cheap. So it's really good. I highly recommend it. It allows you to create professional looking assets for your business really easily, and highly recommend it. So I recommend Canva is the first platform for creative use. The second thing I would say is for social media. Now, when you have a strategy, when you've built a strategy, when you know what you're putting out there, scheduling your content is a game changer, right? You can use later.com or Planoly. Those are the two that I recommend. I am a big fan of Later. In fact, that's literally what I use for my business. So you can check it out there. Unfortunately, Later is not free, but it is worth money, just saying. So there is a platform that I use within my email, and it's called Steep, and it basically organizes your emails into a CRM. So this is what you can create and keep track of when you have potential warm leads, when you're closing a deal, already closed the deal, and you can keep track of it. This platform is really freaking cool, and I absolutely love it. So I highly recommend it. It is free, and you of course can upgrade to a paid option. The next thing I wanna say, when we're talking about marketing and sales, I'm also talking about keeping track of your clients and being able to follow up and having that. There's nothing like that customer service, right? So a big platform that I recommend, there's 2 that I recommend, and it's Dubsado for a CRM process and or Honeybooks. There's tons of other ones out there, but those are the ones that I've used mostly. I do recommend Dubsado. I like Dubsado a lot. It is a little complicated, so it does take some time to put together, but it works efficiently, and it basically makes the flow of closing a deal a lot faster. For example, if a client wants to book a call with you, they go ahead and click on the link in your bio on Instagram. It happens to be an Acuity link. They book that call with you, you have the discovery call, you close the sale. What happens next? Instead of going back and forth into emails, waiting for them to sign contracts and then send an invoice, these programs automate that process. So as soon as they say yes and you send them a contract and they sign the contract, they automatically get an invoice, which means that everything gets done really freaking fast, which means that you can run your business while these things are happening behind the scenes. Got it? Okay, and this leads me to number 3, last but not least, the mindset. Guys, I cannot tell you this. If you're starting a business, I'm referring to the beliefs and the habits that you have that allow you to live your life and believe in what it is that you're creating. As creators, as entrepreneurs, in order for you to sell something, you have to believe in it wholeheartedly. And this is something that we struggle with because we tend to believe in friends and family and what they think. And while those opinions are extremely important and valid, they are not the end all. And what I mean is you have to have a belief, a core belief that what you are creating, what you are selling, what you are offering the world is worthy of your service and that you will make it work. And that looks like having a support system. That looks like joining a free Facebook group, a community, hiring a coach, having friends, creating accountability with other entrepreneurial friends, all of those things. But it is very important and ultimately the most important thing, to be honest, because what got me to 6 figures was maybe having all these systems in place and having a marketing strategy and a sales strategy and all those things. The majority of it was the belief in myself to know that I am worthy of creating a business that had multiple 6 figures. I mean it. I'm not kidding. That is what I have for you today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that these tips were helpful. Don't forget to download my free business checklist. It's in the description below. Really freaking good. And everybody that's already downloaded has already received amazing results. So you're not gonna wanna miss that. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you enjoyed me, give me a subscribe. And I'll see you again soon next week. But until next time, have a beautiful day. I love you, fam. Talk to you soon. Bye.